Brock Purdy, I know why some people can't stand him. Because Brock Purdy is the destroyer of hot takes. If you're in the hot take business, if you're in the I'm looking for attention more than I'm looking to make an actual point based in reality, Brock Purdy has stepped on your talking points, your show, and all of your plans to be rich and famous, probably more than any other athlete out there. Okay? Brock Purdy is a truth, and he is exposing liars and bullshit artists every single time you look up. He really is. He is destroying the importance that NFL draft gurus want to shine all over themselves. Listen to me. I know where all the value is in the draft. Listen to me. Watch me. Pay attention to me. Nobody, and this includes just about every NFL GM, saw Brock Purdy coming. The way that he is playing in this league right now, it isn't good. It's not great. It's transcendent. Brock Purdy is having a transcendent season, putting numbers in places that no other quarterback has ever done before. This is not an exaggeration. This is not an overstatement of fact. It's truth. It's data points of truth. Again, if Brock Purdy can't hit the fictitious hypothetical scenario that you think he needs to clear, all right. He keeps on winning in the NFL. Last time I checked, it's all that really mattered. Not training camp, football games. Football games that count and matter. That's all that counts and matters. And Brock Purdy, in the games that counts and matters, is playing a better brand of football than just about any other person at his position in this league right now. Through Sunday's games, he's first in the NFL in QBR. He's first in passer rating. He's first in yards per attempt. He's third in completion percentage. He's tied for fifth now in touchdown passes. He is sixth in passing yards per game. So when someone is in the top 6 of every single important category that you could put in front of a quarterback, tell me what he isn't. Like, I dare you. And there are still some people taking that dare. And in taking that dare, you lose credibility. It's like when Clarissa Thompson just decided, oh, I'm going to just make shit up here. You're going to lose credibility. If you can't identify that Brock Purdy is excelling, whether it be just in the vacuum of this offense, this season, or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can only be where you are. You can only play for the team you're on. You can only play with the teammates that are around you. Well, if Patrick Mahomes were in Carolina would be in the Super Bowl? No, they wouldn't. The same rules that Purdy has applied to him by hot take artists don't apply to other, quarterbacks that have checked either physical boxes or whatever, or, well, Brock's never won a Super Bowl. He's also never been to a Super Bowl. So, it's a silly thing to hold against you. It's like me saying, both my kids, they hate whiskey. Well, they're 4 and 2 years old. They've never tried whiskey, so we don't know that. They might take to it like water. Who knows? We'll find out in a few years. But until then, don't tell me that they do or don't like it, or they can or can't drink it, because we haven't even tried it yet. Well, Brock Purdy can't win the big game. Well, you can't win a game when you got your arm in a sling. And oh, by the way, the playoff games to get to that big playoff game that the 49ers lost because he got knocked out of it, he won those games. Weren't those playoff games 2 in front of the NFC title game big games? I think they are. I think every playoff game's a big game. As a matter of fact, I insist upon it. So, again, Brock Purdy is the destroyer of hot takes. He's rough on these bitches. He really is. They don't know what to do. They don't know what they're looking at. I would argue that they didn't know what they were looking at with just about everything that they look at. They're just in the hot take business. He's a wrench in the hot take business. And you want to know what the hot take business is? It's lazy. It's lazy. Can you come up with an inflammatory point or question, whether it be based in reality? Yes, anyone could do that. Anyone could do that. Hey, this guy's really, really good. And there's an overwhelming amount of evidence to suggest he's really, really good. What do you think? I think he sucks. Okay, what do you got to back that up with? Well, it's how I feel. It doesn't matter how you feel. What matters is, what did this guy do in the game? In the past 2 weeks against the Jaguars and Buccaneers, Purdy has gone 40 of 51 for an average of 315 yards with 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, and an average over 12 yards per attempt. His 5 interceptions are tied for the second fewest among starters. His 9.7 yards per attempt are the second most through 10 games in NFL history among players with a minimum of 250 attempts. He's keeping company with Boomer Esiason in 1988, Dan Marino in 1984, and Aaron Rodgers in 2011, and all of those names won MVPs in those same years that Brock Purdy is tracking in right now. Still not good enough for you? Okay, well then here we go. Brock Purdy has now registered 4 career games with 3 or more touchdown passes and a passer rating of 140 or higher, which are the most such games by any player in the history of football over his first 2 seasons. So again, maybe Brock's start wasn't good enough for you. It's literally measurably one of the greatest starts that anyone has ever had in their career in the history of the sport of the NFL. So there's that. There's that. What's your opinion? What's your hot take? Oh, it doesn't matter because there's that.